Hey guys, welcome back to DeFi DJ Drip and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all Forex Shark related projects. In today's video, bringing you the doom and gloom of the macro environment and how global recession and pending war, sanctions, and all that is crappy, of course. But there is a silver lining to this doom and gloom cloud, and that silver lining is the animal farm. I'll show you two ways in which you can actually make money in the bear market, and one of which is actually the bullish, most least risky way to increase your capital and generate some yield in this macro bear market and possibly recession that we First, some headlines to give it some context, because we got to drive that point home, because media likes to feed us all this stuff. Why not digest it a little bit? Unprecedented events creating extremely severe risk of global recession. We got Vladimir Putin to impose martial law and mobilize all men of military age to fight. One of my friends here in Cambodia actually left Russia about 6 weeks ago. So he's been here, and he told me that it's actually a lot worse than the media lets on. So from the Western narrative, they make it sound like Putin's backing down and things cooling off or whatever, but inside Russia, it is boiling over, and mandatory military enlistment has been posed. And because of that, many people are Googling how to leave Russia. So how to leave Russia? Google searches surge in the country as Putin declares partial military mobilization. And with that, we have seen the oil prices fall on the third weekly rise in U.S. crude supplies. Fed agrees to another rate hike. There was another article I forgot to pull up that mentioned that in Hanover, Germany, they were rationing gas, basically telling people to expect cold showers for the winter. So it is definitely being felt all over the world, and it is not getting better in the short term. And we have the U.S. housing market in deep recession as home builder confidence tanks. So none of that is good news at all, right? Of course not. But in a bear market, like they say, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you buy, even when it's your own. But in this environment, there are people that need to find a way to stave off this recession and still have a need to purchase goods and services, food and gas at the pump. And with the rising prices, obviously your fiat sitting in the bank is not going to do anything for you. Your savings account's not going to do anything for you. But lo and behold, if you are sitting on fiat, we have a place to park some capital over here on the animal farm. So if you're not familiar, the stablecoin pairs such as USDT and BUSD and USDC and BUSD were some great pairs pumping out yield way before the farm was paused. I can prove that by going back over here to VFAT tools. And if you look, we were getting 205% per year with the USDT, 158% per year with the USDC, 143 with TUSD, and 447 with DAI, which is an over-collateralized, decentralized stablecoin. That's pretty cool. Get your hands on some DAI and you can make yield. So what does that mean? That means if you have capital sitting in your wallet right now, and maybe you're not sitting in BNB, ETH, or BTC because you're not willing to ride out the volatility and waiting for price appreciation, so you're sitting in stables, which a lot of people are, because stables is where you want to be right now in the crypto market, because you have no idea what's going to happen to ETH and WBNB. And if what the people are saying is correct, then these assets are going to drop another 40 to 50%. So some people theorize that we will see 13,000 for Bitcoin. I know Richard Hart is one of those. I was listening to Garrett Soloway, supposedly a professional trader for 20 years. He's claiming 10,000 and a low as 3,500, because he needs to see that 80% drawdown, or 90%, which we saw with the Amazon.com bubble burst. So regardless, everyone is saying that we're going to see another leg down. Now, the only hopium in that is markets take the path of most pain. So if everyone believes there's another leg down and they are priced in for another leg down, and everyone is shorting, or they are short or underweighted, so to speak, then crypto would actually pump. And do the opposite. That would be nice. Then you don't have to worry about any of this other gloom. But if it does what everybody's thinking, because the macro trend is very different from anything else we've ever experienced, with the massive amounts of fiat being pumped into the system over the last 2 years, and then this war we have right now, and then the supply chain still being disrupted and us not being able to get back to pre-COVID levels, well, then this does make a lot of sense. So what does that mean? Well, that means we could see BNB down to $100. That means we'll see Drip getting a kick in the nuts. All right, TMI. Anyway, so how do we stave that off? Well, I'm glad you asked. Just a quick message. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. That does help the channel as well as help bring brand awareness to all Forex Shark related projects. Thanks. So again, if you're sitting in cash, in stables, because that's where you should be sitting, because potentially we're gonna see a lot more downside, then you can come in here and park your assets and make some nice yield. And remember, you're getting the dog token for that. And if you're generating a decent amount of dogs because you staked enough, then you could actually sell off a few. Even though you're going to get hit with a 90% tax, you would actually still be able to sell those because that's free money that you could send over to fiat and actually live off of and, fight the price at the pumps or in the grocery store. Now, not everyone will have enough money probably sitting on the sidelines. Those of you watching my video, you're probably in the same boat as me. So you're not sitting on a lot of capital and you're trying to make money from the animal farm. So what can you do? I'm glad you asked. To me, there is only one play, and I'm going to break it down for you before we get there. So we know that the dogs have a 90% tax, and you can basically farm them and then put them into the dog pound and lower your taxes on them, as well as generate BNB and BUSD. However, you're only going to be generating as much as you are able to accumulate and others are willing to transact. So remember, those are fees that you're generating. So if no one is selling or migrating dogs or doing anything with dogs, then you're not going to be generating that much dividends. Perfect example is what we already see in the pig pen. So right now in the pig pen, there's very little rewards being generated. So that can be the exact same thing for the dogs, because it's based on people's willingness to buy and trade them or sell them. So now long term, yes, you want to accumulate dogs, you want to accumulate pigs. But who I'm speaking to right now in this video is the people looking to make money they can actually use in this bear market, not the long-term strategy that is the pig pen and the dog pound and all that. But it's like, how do you get money for tomorrow? How do you buy your next meal, or send some money to your fiat to do something with? Well, since, like I just mentioned, dogs are going to be high taxes, and the pigs, you may not have enough money to actually buy pigs and try to sell them. Well, that means clearly there's only one thing you can do that has the least amount of taxes applied, and you can get in and out more easily. That, my friend, is the drip garden, specifically the drip liberation. So remember, you don't have to actually get into the garden. So if you're looking to actually generate yield on your assets, and a lot of new people coming to the animal farm, I believe, will be in that boat. Most will either stake single assets like ETH, Bitcoin, BNB, and they'll just leave it there, and or they're going to be looking to see what parts of the ecosystem they can actually make money on now. So yes, again, long-term play, you want to accumulate as many pigs as possible. Not denying that. You want to get dogs and lower your loyalty score, and then tax score, and then use those dogs to farm more pigs to get more ownership of the farm. But that's long-term. So remember, 90% and being reduced by 1% per month, you got, I think it's 1% per month, right? So that's quite a few months that you're gonna be waiting. I think you get up to 6% per month or something like that. I can't remember, but looking at like a year and a half before you get down to 30% on one of them, and the other one's gonna be like 2 years, something like that, before you really have a nice amount of tax reduction. So what do you do right now from October to December when winter comes and you're looking for money? Well, again, the only thing I believe, the only play is drip liberation contract, meaning you can get in tax-free into drip liberation. You got BNB, you got USDC, you got BUSD, USDT. You can get in there and create your pair, and then you come on over to the farm and stake that liquidity pair. And I don't know what the percentage will be, but remember, there's only like a 3% tax to get in the farm, and then you still have access to drip and the BUSD LP. So drip is going to appreciate when the farm's open. So you're not going to see any downside volatility, not financial advice, in my personal opinion, from drip. We have stabilized for almost 2 months in the $7 range. It does not make any logical sense that we see a much lower drip when the farms come on pause. There will be some selling, mind you, because people will be taking drip from the faucet and pairing it over here, so they may sell some. But eventually that's going to flatten out, especially once the farm is launched. So that means from October, let's call it 25th onward, we should start to see more price appreciation in drip. And even right now, because people can get into the drip liberation contract right now and purchase and get drip BUSD LPs right now. So remember, nothing else in the farm is open besides the pig pen and the piggy bank. And that may be too confusing for normies. And again, you're not making that high a yield right now without the farms online. So again, from right now to the 18th, there's no other place to earn yield. Garden is the best option. Get in right now. And then once the farms are live, one with the least amount of friction with guaranteed ability to access the key asset with no taxes and no, what do you call that? 2% being returned. What is that called? 2% vested. When you get into the pig pen, you can just put your drip BUSD LP here, and then all the pigs you earn, you can turn right around and sell, and you still have your drip BUSD. So that to me is the key play for, again, the short-term gains in the farm. So all of you trolls that are gonna bite my head off in the comments that are like, no, the garden's not this, that, and the other. Again, short term. So I'm talking by the end of the year, and that you need money by the end of the year, not for those that are like 6 months, 9 months out. So those that need money by the end of the year, and those that are going to be affected more so by this potential recession that we're about to get. So if things go down much, much further, then that means even pigs or dogs price could drop as well, because BNB would drop and that, right? So the only thing you would want to be accumulating, in my personal opinion, short term, is your USD. So yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. Beat this dead horse enough. I believe this is a short term play. I've mentioned it times, and I believe people get access to the farms. They're gonna see that as well, especially before the farms come online. And there's nothing else to do right now besides pair up drip LP. Or hold them in your wallet, put them into garden. So yeah, hope you found that valuable. If you did, you know the drill. Sitting at about 2,500 subscribers, so I'd love to get to 3K. Please help a brother out, that HBO special. And until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. Yeah.